Happy Friday, welcome back to Melly Loves Death Metal. I actually did not intend on recording a video today because I am trying to get this all situated from Noxious Ruin. They sent me a massive package a couple of weeks ago, and I've been listening to this and diving into it and writing up notes and everything. But this is coming along slowly. So I want to spend a little bit more time and do a little bit more editing and stuff and put some song clips in here because this is a lot of underground stuff. That is not very well known at all, at least not to me. So that's what I've been working on today, was editing that. And then I got the mail and I got this package in and it said Sewer Rot Records, and I knew exactly what this was. As soon as it came in, I was like, you know what? I'm definitely recording a video today on this because it's been a long time since I wanted to talk about these things. So I did open it, but I didn't actually open it, if you know what I mean. Like, there's 2 cassettes in here. I didn't actually open them, so I'll open them on camera and talk about them. So, Sewer Rot Records. We all know who that is. If you're a fan of my channel, you know that that's like one of my favorite underground death metal labels. Frank and Kyle. Frank is in Soul Devourment. Kyle is in one of the bands we're talking about on here. He also does a lot of the graphic designs and the layouts. And Kyle also has an amazing death metal channel that you should check out. I'm going to link it in the description. Doing the underground or just the like death metal historian type of YouTube channel, which more of those are popping up now, and I'm happy about that. I feel like it's filling the void of Ken's death metal crypt now that Ken is no longer doing YouTube. But he has Dr. Messick's death metal library on YouTube, and it's awesome. So subscribe to it. Hello, animals. Here's my animals. This is Dolly, and there's my corgi, who is just barking at nothing. I don't know. He's 10 months old. Duke, do you want to come say hi? No? You're just going to sit in the doorway and stare at me. Okay. He'll come. Eventually, you'll see him right here. That's his toy. So eventually, he'll come right here. Anyway, Kyle's awesome. What are you barking at? There's nothing to bark at. Chill. I'm not editing this out, by the way. Good boy. Okay, he laid down. Anyway, fuck, man. Happy Friday. Kyle also posts some awesome stuff on Instagram, so check him out on there. He has an amazing library of CDs that he shows up. Oh my fucking god, what are you barking at, Duke? What are you barking at? Chill out. Come here. Come here. Do you want to sniff some beer? We're going to talk about... No? He's like, no, get that shit away from me. So that's Duke. He's my 10-month-old corgi puppy. Do you just want to be involved with the video and talk? Is that what it is? If you know corgis, you know that they're very vocal. Okay, Duke, chill. All right, calm down. Do you want to talk death metal today? You're a huge fan of it. You sleep in here all the time when I'm listening to it. Dolly's just looking out the window. She's just being a cat. You're fine. Go lay down. Go lay down. Please? Yeah, that's a good boy. Come lay down. That's a good boy. Okay. Anyway, let's get started. A lot of you really enjoyed that I cracked open a beer and drank it on my video the other day. Somebody asked if I should told me I should shotgun it. Maybe someday. I was thinking someday on Heavy Metallurgy I'll probably get nice and toasty and possibly do that. But, so I've got this beer today, and you're probably thinking, Bush? I don't ever drink this, to be honest with you. I can't remember the last time I've had a Bush beer. I can't remember the last time I've bought it. I don't typically drink like Miller Lite or Bud Light or Bush or anything like that. I think as far as like cheap beers go, I like the cervezas like Modelo and Dos Equis and Corona, those style of beers. But if this is put in front of me, I'll drink it. So... Fun story about this. I mean, not really that fun, but I'll explain why I have it. There's a CVS by us that's going out of business, and everything is 50% off right now. So we stopped in there last night to see, what we could get. Like, let's get some medicine for 50% off. Let's get some Band-Aids, shit like that. But they also have food and alcohol, wine and beer. And that was 50% off. It was pretty scarce. It was pretty empty. So we unfortunately missed out on the good stuff. But they did have a ton of these tall boys that came in a 4-pack for $4.50. So I bought the rest of the remainder of that because it's beer. It's basically water, if you ask me. It's only like 4% alcohol content, so it's not really something that you gotta have. For me, I gotta have like 10 of these to actually start to feel something. I typically drink IPAs, and like I said, the Modelo. I'm not like super into the like crafty IPAs. I like more of the haziness. Again, craft beers are not really like a big thing that I'm into. But yeah, it's Friday afternoon. I am off work. Fridays are half days for us at the company they work on. So, cheers, happy Friday. We're doing cheap beer and death metal. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it just tastes like water. Really just tastes like water. There's not much of a beery taste to it. Anyway, I was actually going to slam that because I could slam that because it's like water, but maybe another day. Well, okay, let's go ahead and get started. So, 2 cassettes in here, 2 bands I'm going to talk about, 2 bands that I've been dying to talk about. Was waiting to get these in the mail. I knew they were coming. I just, sometimes Surat takes a while to ship out some stuff. They have day jobs. This isn't their main job. So, the first one is the new Maimed album that came out last year, which is called Propagate, Onslaught, and then the new Coffin Feeder EP that is called Dominion of Torment. So we'll talk about both of these, but first let's open them and go into a little bit more detail about this one. I probably have the most to say about this one because this is one that actually I really should have included in my year-end list last year. Honestly, if now that we're months past the 2024 year-end list videos that I've made, I've probably listened to this the most since then, and this probably would be like within my top 5 albums. So, Maimed, let's talk about this band. Whoop, and not drop the tape. And there's my fucking hell. My dog just destroyed my blind again. My blackout blind. But anyway, goddamn, what a shit show of a video we're having today. Maimed is a band that is pretty much spread out across the world now. This is Kyle's band, the co-owner of Surat. This is not to be confused with the Maimed from the 90s that was based out of Illinois. These guys are, like I said, let me see here. Let me find it. They're all over the place. They got members all over the place now. So we've got Tom, who is in Blood Rage, who I've talked about this several times, and he used to be in Crypt Rot. Kyle, who, like I said, Surat, he is on vocals. And then Ian, Necessary Death in Between the Killings. I'm not too sure where Ian's based out of. And then Justin on drums. I think these guys are based around the world. Let me see. I thought they were going to be all based out of well, I know Tom is from the UK, so that's probably why. But I thought they were going to be mostly based around California because that's where believe that's where Kyle is out of. So it's the UK and then Indiana. Or maybe he's in Indiana. I don't know. Anyway, they're not just in the US. So this is their first ever full length. Torrential Gore an EP came out back in 2021. I actually talked about it on here. Also on Surat Records. Really enjoyed that EP. And now they have this first full length out, and this is an album that has more features than a rap album, if you know what I mean. There's like a guest on almost every single. I think there's only like one song where there's not a guest on this album. It is loaded with some of the most incredible death metal musicians, grind, etc. Slam on here. Just absolutely almost every single song. I believe the 4th track is the only song that doesn't have like a feature on it. So it's 9 tracks, and just an awesome like slamming. There's some slam elements to it, just a little bit, not a lot. So if you're not a fan of slam, don't let that deter you. But there definitely are. There's some elements on here. Brutal death metal, just heavy as hell, unrelenting, does not let up. Has amazing guests on here. So I'll get to that in a minute. Is so good. And this is the style of death metal that I have found myself just absolutely becoming obsessed with over the last several years, and just buying a lot of it. things that I generally kind of avoided for a while and just listened to mostly like straightforward death metal 90s stuff. But this one just really scratched the itch for me. So this is a Sewer Rot Records tape. I think there was another pressing of this tape too where it had like the sticker print of the album around it, but this is the one that I ended up getting. And shout out to Frank for sending this to me from Sewer Rot. I've been wanting to talk about this album on here. Kyle sent me like the promo of it a long time ago before it first came out, and I just got so backlogged with stuff and just completely forgot to do it. So I'm late, but here it is. So here's the J card. The artwork is done by Justin Bartlett, who's done tons of stuff in the scene, and I believe Kyle did the layout, which is just awesome. It's just very colorful. We should get that printed on a shirt. If you guys are watching this, print that on a shirt. I would definitely wear the shit out. And then here's the backside. Good luck reading all that shit. And I believe there's also a CD of this too. So if you prefer to have a CD, that is available. So definitely, as always, links in the description. You'll be able to find this. It's not sold out. And I think Severed Records did part of this. I don't remember. I know that it's like was it Severed? I don't remember. I'll link where you can go buy this. So let's go ahead and talk about every single track. So the first track, Herald of Maelstrom, features Matsubara from Gridlink. Yeah. Takafumi Matsubara, like, I don't feel like, do I need to even talk further about that? Like, that immediately was like, oh shit, okay, we're starting this off, like, right out the gate of just being incredible. And then the second track, The Slaughter of Lambs, which admittedly is probably one of my favorite tracks on this album, just fucking awesome. Has Dan from Nucleus, who is a band from Chicago. Check them out. He does a solo on here that's awesome. Again, I really like that track. The third track, Death of some words I can't say, features Easton Brown, who is from Volnificus, who was on New Standard Elite. I showed their EP a while ago. Fucking amazing brutal death metal. And then Brendan Dean, who I've talked about here on the channel several times. He's just in a million bands that are amazing. He's in Fumes, Fathomless Ritual. He had an album that came out last year on Transcending Obscurity, Gut Void, and then Puke Wraith is like his like solo stuff that he does. He's also on here. Easton does a vocal spot, and then Brendan does a solo spot. So this was an awesome track too. Easton's vocals are just so good. So, and it goes really well with this album. The fourth track is literally the only one that doesn't have a feature on it. Again, just heavy, unrelenting brutalness. The fifth track has Chris Pervelis, I can never say his last name, from Internal Bleeding. Like, come on now. Like, just legend in the scene. The sixth track has Andrew Lee, who we all know from Ripped to Shreds, his guest solo. And yeah, you can tell it's Andrew Lee. He's got a very unique style. He's got a very, like, not unique. Well, yeah, I guess it's unique. Like, you just know it's him. Like, he's got that style of playing that just pretty much follows him. Like, it's like his own way of, like, his signature style is what I meant to say. So, my mouth is getting dry. Good stuff. Tastes like water. The seventh track is a big one. There's awesome people on this one. We've got Mike DeSalvo, who, do I need to talk about who that is? He obviously was formerly of Cryptopsy. I can't think of the band that he's in now. I should have looked that up. We've got Batu, I believe is how you say your name, from Cenotaph from Turkey, who are super underrated, and they often get mixed up with Cenotaph from Mexico. I really should talk about that. I believe Dennis over on Analog Archives showed off their stuff a long time ago, like years ago, from like underrated death metal videos that he used to do. I've been rewatching those lately because they've been coming up as suggestions for me, even though I've already watched them. So I'm just going back and rewatching them, like, what gems do I want to try and hunt down on Discogs? Because that's what I've been doing. So I've been pulling some lists from that stuff. And then also Jake Shucker from May Saloon. Not too familiar with who that was. I had to look into that, but yeah, he's in May Saloon. Not too sure who that band is, and it was the first time I ever heard him, but he also was on here as a guest soloist, and good stuff. And now I'm looking into the stuff that he's worked on. Number 8, the title track Propagate Onslaught is got Malika, I think is how you say her name, from Emasculator. That was awesome. As soon as I didn't even know that. So when I was listening to this album, I knew that there were guests, and I was going through, and the credits on here are so goddamn small. So I finally pulled it up on YouTube and stuff like that, and the Bandcamp. And when I realized that was her, I thought that was pretty cool. And then it also has Cody from Machinations of Fate. So that again is one of my favorite tracks on here. Just awesome. And then we go into the final track, Forging Providence, which has James Murphy, who is a legend, if you know who that is, in a very stereotypical American name. So if you just put James Murphy in Google, it pulls up 100 other things. You have to James Murphy guitar. Yeah, he's been in Cancer, he's been in Death, he's been in Obituary, Testament, and now he's in the band Disincarnate. I think they're still active. So yeah, that was cool, and that again is another one of my favorite tracks. So all around, just like I said, has more features than a rap album. Awesome. Just feels like a comp, honestly, like a compilation of just amazingness of brutal death metal as a whole. And then obviously Matsubara from Gridlink and several other things that he's done. Just awesome album. So check this out. It's all over YouTube. Slam Worldwide actually put it on there. If you want to listen to the full album, or you can just go listen to Bandcamp, buy it from Sewer Rot, the CDs and everything. So yeah, and again, if we get a shirt, that would be awesome, because I would wear the shit out of this. Yeah, I love this album. I'm so glad that I finally got it, and apologies for taking so long to talk about it. Because again, I did listen to it a lot last year, especially when he sent me the promo, and just escaped me. And I hate that. That's kind of the one thing, things I hate about urine lists are that you just forget stuff, or you go back later, like I've been doing, and listen to stuff that maybe you only listened to once, and didn't go follow through enough or something like that. But yeah, I'm not gonna stop doing them. I still really enjoy doing them, and they do really well for reviews on my channel, so I'm gonna continue to do that. So cheers. Let's open the next Sewer Rot release. This is Coffin Feeder, Dominion of Torment, their EP. This band is based out of Chicago, and my friend Chris is friends with a member of this band. He passed it along in our group chat and mentions oh yeah, Sewer Rot put that out. I snagged it, so this is what I was waiting on. I really enjoyed this. I believe hopefully they're working on some new stuff. But pretty much had never heard them before. Brutal death metal. Their logo is awesome. I really enjoy their logo. It's done by Festering Phlegm, who does a ton of stuff, so check him out. And then the cover art is done by Martyrdom Illustrations, which I will link this stuff in the description. He has also done a bunch of stuff in the scene. I think 200 Stab Wounds is one that he's done, but pretty cool. I really like that artwork. I like the color scheme too, like the brown. It's not a very common color scheme these days. And then here's the layout of just disgusting death metal. I wanted to see something else that I might have forgot about. Oh yeah, Kyle did the layout for this, so yeah, layout's cool. And then just the black pro printed tape. So this is still available. Sadly, I don't know why. Definitely should be sold out. This was a sleeper. I don't think I really saw much of anybody posting about it other than the people that know about the band and who follow Sewer Rot Records. Really good EP. Really good initial start to this band. Has phenomenal drumming on here. It's 6 tracks, so it's a relatively longer EP, to be honest with you. I forgot how long it is. Let me pull it up. I honestly, in terms of EPs, I was surprised at the length of this. It's about 20 minutes. So yeah, I guess that's EP. But this actually came out in January. Officially, was released in January of this year. So I guess you could say this is a 2025 release, because officially that, for some reason I thought it came out last year, but that's just because I ended up getting the promos for it and stuff like that. But yeah, so I kind of slept on this in the beginning of the year to talk about it. Again, I was waiting for the physical format, but I really, really like this. It's got that brutal style of death metal vocals, very just aggressive. The drumming on here is amazing. I love the drumming style on here. It's got that drum style that I really enjoy when it comes to like a brutal death metal album or just a death metal as a whole, where it's kind of just sounds like he's beating on a trash can, and it's got like a more like a snappier, pingier, not pingy, but like snappier, like different style. What are you doing, dog? Of like just it's got the brutal death metal snare, like the yeah, I don't know. You know what I'm talking about, but I really like it. The bass is also really good on here. It's just a really, really, really good EP, and I'm actually really looking forward to see what they do next. I really hope that there's a new full length coming soon, or just even more music, because these guys are definitely very, very good, and especially since they're from Chicago, it'd be awesome to push forward that Chicago death metal scene and continue on having a band from that area. I'm biased because I'm from Chicago, so yeah, check these out. These are both still available on Surat. I think a CD also was getting pressed of this the last I checked, so I'm not too sure if it's available yet or not. Immediately I didn't look, but if you're a CD person, I believe it's going to happen. Again, links will be in a description of everything where you can go listen to these things and buy them. Always support Surat Records. Total support. One of my favorite labels, run by awesome guys. Check out Kyle's YouTube channel. Check out Soul Devourment. They have an awesome split with Anatomia that came out last year that I talked about on here. Looking forward to new music from Soul Devourment someday. I know that those guys, they have day jobs and a life outside of death metal. So, but yeah, that's all I have. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Again, I got to get that Noxious Ruin video going. I really want to talk about that, and just awesome label again. Underground death metal, gonna try to really focus more on that this year. I talked about a lot of like more popular death metal last year, and it made me feel a little bit dirty. Like, it just made me feel kind of a little bit of a poser. Yeah, anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one.